What if I dropped a needle on New York City, moving at the speed of light? Imagine a single point of metal, no larger than a grain of sand, hurtling through the void at an unimaginable velocity, striking the heart of Manhattan and unleashing a cascade of destruction that no human mind can fully comprehend. In the first instant, a blinding flash tears through the morning sky. A thunderous crack reverberates across the boroughs, and a shockwave expands outward, like the ripples of a stone dropped into a still lake. The very notion defies the limits of known physics. Relativity tells us that an object with mass cannot attain light speed, because the energy required would be infinite. Yet, for a moment, let us suspend that certainty and ask ourselves what would happen if that impossible energy were released above the city that never sleeps. Think of the energy contained in 1,000 nuclear warheads compressed into something the size of a toothpick. That comparison is not a metaphor. It is a scale. 1,000 warheads, each releasing the power of several hundred kilotons, would together dwarf the most violent natural events recorded in human history. In a world where such a concentration of force could appear, safeguarding your digital identity becomes a matter of survival. Stay alert, stay encrypted. Because when reality itself can be ripped apart in an instant, the smallest piece of data may be the only thing that endures. Let us begin at the point of impact. The needle, traveling at the velocity of light, would carry kinetic energy on the order of 10 to the 23 joules, a figure comparable to the energy released by an asteroid several hundred meters across, striking the Earth. The immediate blast radius would be measured in kilometers, with overpressure exceeding 10 bar, enough to collapse the steel frames of the Empire State Building, shatter the glass facades of every skyscraper within a 5-kilometer circle, and flatten the historic stone of the Brooklyn Bridge. In those first seconds, the thermal pulse would incinerate anything in its direct path, turning streets into rivers of molten metal and glass. The human toll would be staggering. With a population density of 8 million souls packed into the 5 boroughs, the lethal zone would encompass roughly 3 million individuals exposed to blast, fire, and radiation. Imagine the frantic cries echoing through the shattered canyons of Times Square, the sudden silence that follows as entire neighborhoods are reduced to ash. What would become of the city that defines ambition, art, and resilience? This question hangs in the air, a pause that invites reflection before the devastation spreads beyond the borough's borders. Beyond Manhattan, the shockwave would travel across the Hudson, reaching the industrial heart of New Jersey. Structures not designed to withstand such pressure would buckle, bridges would twist and snap, and the waterways would surge with a sudden, violent rise. Seismic activity, normally a concern for the West Coast, would be felt in the eastern seaboard as the Earth itself shudders under the force of the impact. The ripple would not stop at the coastline. It would travel down the Atlantic, influencing weather patterns across the continent. On a global scale, the injection of that amount of energy into the atmosphere would alter the climate in ways we can only begin to model. The dust and particulates, lofted high into the stratosphere, would block sunlight, initiating a rapid cooling reminiscent of a nuclear winter. Ice caps could begin to expand, agricultural zones would shift, and the delicate balance of ecosystems worldwide would be thrown into chaos. Think of the Yellowstone supervolcano, a natural engine capable of reshaping the planet's climate for years. The needle's impact, though localized, would act as a catalyst for a chain of events echoing through the atmosphere, oceans, and biosphere. And yet, amidst this cascade of cataclysm, a quiet truth emerges. Humanity has survived countless trials, ice ages, meteor strikes, pandemics, by adapting, learning, and persisting. The fragility of our existence becomes a reminder of our responsibility to understand and protect the forces we unleash. What do you think about the delicate line between possibility and impossibility? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the conversation does not end here. The shockwave would travel across the Hudson, reaching the industrial heart of New Jersey. Structures not designed to withstand such pressure would buckle, bridges would twist and snap, and the waterways would surge with a sudden, violent rise. Seismic activity, normally a concern for the West Coast, would be felt on the eastern seaboard as the Earth itself shudders under the force of the impact. The ripple would not stop at the coastline. It would travel down the Atlantic, influencing weather patterns across the continent. On a global scale, the injection of that amount of energy into the atmosphere would alter the climate in ways we can only begin to model. The dust and particulates, lofted high into the stratosphere, would block sunlight, initiating a rapid cooling reminiscent of a nuclear winter. Ice caps could begin to expand, agricultural zones would shift, and the delicate balance of ecosystems worldwide would be thrown into chaos. Think of the Yellowstone supervolcano, a natural engine capable of reshaping the planet's climate for years. The needle's impact, though localized, would act as a catalyst for a chain of events echoing through the atmosphere, oceans, and biosphere. And yet, amidst this cascade of cataclysm, a quiet truth emerges. Humanity has survived countless trials, ice ages, meteor strikes, pandemics, by adapting, learning, and persisting. The fragility of our existence becomes a reminder of our responsibility to understand and protect the forces we unleash. What do you think about the delicate line between possibility and impossibility? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the conversation does not end here. Now let us step back and consider the broader lesson hidden in this impossible scenario. The notion of a needle moving at light speed forces us to confront the limits of physics, but it also forces us to confront the limits of our imagination. When we imagine the unimaginable, we sharpen the tools of inquiry that keep science moving forward. We ask, what if? And we answer, what can we learn? The answer is not merely a catalogue of destruction. It is a map of resilience, a blueprint for preparedness, a call to humility in the face of forces far beyond our control. Imagine a world where the energy of 1,000 nuclear warheads is compressed into a filament thinner than a human hair. The sheer magnitude of that power dwarfs the output of entire cities. Yet, even in that extreme, the Earth would not be reduced to ash in an instant. The planet's mass, its mantle, its magnetic field, all act as buffers, absorbing and redistributing energy over time. This is why the needle, however fantastical, would not vaporize the globe, but would still unleash a series of cascading effects that ripple outward, reshaping climate, economies, and societies. Consider the human response. In the immediate aftermath of such an event, emergency services would be overwhelmed. Yet history shows that communities come together in the darkest hours. Volunteers, medical professionals, engineers, and ordinary citizens would coordinate to rescue survivors, restore power, and rebuild infrastructure. The very act of rebuilding would drive innovation. New materials, new building codes, new approaches to urban planning, designed to mitigate shockwave damage. In that sense, catastrophe becomes a crucible for progress. But progress is not guaranteed. The economic shock would reverberate through markets, destabilizing supply chains that stretch across continents. Food production could falter as storm systems shift, leading to scarcity and social unrest. Political leaders would be forced to make swift decisions, balancing security with humanitarian aid. The scenario forces us to ask whether our current systems possess the flexibility to adapt, or whether they would crumble under pressure. From a scientific perspective, the event would provide a unique data set. Instruments designed to monitor seismic activity, atmospheric composition, and electromagnetic disturbances would record unprecedented readings. Researchers would scramble to interpret the data, refining models of energy transfer, atmospheric chemistry, and planetary resilience. In that moment, the needle would become a catalyst for a new era of interdisciplinary collaboration, uniting physicists, climatologists, engineers, and sociologists in a shared quest for understanding. Yet, perhaps the most profound implication lies in the philosophical realm. The fleeting image of a needle slicing through the sky at light speed reminds us that reality is a tapestry woven from both the possible and the impossible. It encourages us to appreciate the stability of the world we inhabit, while remaining aware of its vulnerability. It nudges us toward a deeper respect for the laws that govern the universe, and for the fragile ecosystems that sustain life. The question that now lingers is not solely about the physical devastation, but about the choices we make in the present. How do we allocate resources to safeguard against low probability, high impact events? How do we educate future generations to think critically about the balance between technological advancement and environmental stewardship? The needle scenario, absurd as it may seem, serves as a mirror reflecting our own capacity for foresight and responsibility. As we draw this exploration to a close, let us hold on to the sense of wonder that sparked the original hypothesis. The universe presents us with mysteries that challenge our intellect and our imagination. By confronting them, we grow, not just in knowledge, but in humility. We recognize that our existence is a brief flicker against the backdrop of cosmic time, yet that flicker is capable of profound influence. If this journey through possibility has sparked curiosity, imagine what lies ahead when we turn our gaze to the next impossible scenario. What would happen if the moon vanished from the night sky? The answer awaits in another chapter of our shared exploration. Until then, keep questioning, keep imagining, and keep engaging with the world around you. Your thoughts, your questions, and your insights are the threads that weave this community together. Share your reflections below, and let us continue this conversation across the boundaries of reality and imagination.